Alright, hey, what's going on? It's Ben here, bringing to you a mid-range Lyonar? I don't even know what this is. It's hard to differentiate between the decks because they're so similar. I guess every Lyonar build that run is pretty much a mid-range Lyonar, but I have to say this is a little bit of... How should I play this turn? I guess I can draw first because the Blaze Hound is probably what's going to come down unless I get a Blood Tier Alchemist. That would be the only thing that changes my play because I'll use a Blood Tier Alchemist and the Maw to get rid of this Healing Mystic. So let's just put down the Blaze Hound first, see what I can get. Probably wouldn't get the Blood Tier Alchemist. That leaves some good openings for... Well, it leaves good options for next turn, so I think I'll just keep what's going on here. Now I'll just get rid of a Saber Spine Tiger. Probably not necessary to keep such a fast card. Yeah, having all these slow cards is much better. Anyway, so this deck pretty much utilizes the same engine as Kara Winterblade, which you're running a bunch of Cycle cards with the Blaze Hounds and the Spelljammers, and then you have your Maws and Blood Tier Alchemists to contest the early game. So, like Kara Winterblade, like, I'm trying to test out this build with different factions because Kara does so well, but that's because it's obviously really good with the Kara Bloodborne spell. But there are a lot of factions that pretty much do not win based on the outcome of the early game board. Their win condition requires them to drop something big after contesting the early game board, so what's better to do? Well, what's better at doing that than having the Maws and Blood Tier Alchemist pretty much to contest the early game, so you can just rip up these 2/3s really easily. I could go with a Spelljammer next turn. Probably has another 2-drop. It kind of suspect what it has. But anyway, so pretty much the purpose is that I can rip up the early game, then I can put down an Arclight Regalia or a Silverguard Knight, all these high value minions down that can pretty much contest anything else that comes down, so you can really push through with a Divine Bond. 3 Healing Mystics, alright. It's really something. Alright, so I still need to rip through this early game a little better than how I've been doing so far. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to grab 2 Mana Springs. So I can get rid of one of the Windblade Adepts, that's for sure. Oh, Silverguard Knight, that is pretty good. That is pretty strong. So I guess I'll do the best I can to rip up this early game. I guess that's a term I'm just going to be using from now on. So Silverguard Knight here, I will position my Maw in a way that it won't get ripped up by that Healing Mystic down on the left side. So this Silverguard Knight is really hard to contest with the board. So it's going to require him to have some kind of out of hand damage to remove it. And if he's wasting his turn removing my minions, then I can definitely put down the Ironcliffe Guardian with no trouble. Well, apart from large removal, but Kara is not, well, I mean, Cass is not exactly a class with really big, swingy removal cards. Yeah, pretty much. So I feel like I'll be able to push an advantage as long as I'm able to drop down my minions proactively. And this is a really superior board position. A 4/1 is good as 2 mana. This is a 1 mana card, I guess. I guess this is also a 1 mana card, but this is like a 4 mana card. But I have like an advantage of 5 mana, so it's really good. And yes, he's spending a turn to just remove a Silverguard Knight to the left a little bit, but he's not going to want to move forward. Actually, he should probably move it to the left side if he's going to go with that. I actually made a change to the Spell Songhai previously where I also run this same build because you definitely want to get rid of the early game so you can put down the spells with a Spell Songhai. But this is not a Spell Songhai, this is a Cycle Lyonar-ish. Oh, Repulsor Beast. That's really bold, putting that many removals. So he's got like 5 or 6 of these guys. Okay. Alright, so I can drop an Ironcliffe Guardian, and he just used a Repulsor Beast, so I feel pretty good about it sticking. I don't need card draw just yet. I think I want to drop 2 cards though. Let's get rid of the Ironcliffe Guardian then, since I'm going to go with that 2-card play. Holy Immolation is pretty sweet. Alright, so I'm going to keep this Maw as healthy as I can. Then I'm going to drop another Silverguard Knight here. Oh, Zenrui would be pretty brutal. So I will play around a Zenrui. Yeah, because he could steal a Silverguard Knight, so I don't think this Maw particularly plays around anything specifically, but I guess this is tough for a Zenrui hit play. Alright, so I should feel pretty good about this position. I have a lot of Holy Immolation to get ahead on board. I do need to prevent him from grabbing this Mana Spring later, because I don't want him to drop a Shadow Nova on me. Not just yet, at least. Maybe a little bit later. A Vorpal Reaver is kind of tough to deal with. I can remove it, so that's good. Wow, look at this. The rainbow really looks good on this guy. My man. Anyway, I'm going to be heading back to university in a couple of days. So I guess I'll already be there by the time this video comes out. But the setup will definitely be different. You're going to miss these blue walls because the setup is going to be totally different. And I'm not even sure if I should bring this microphone. I don't know. Maybe back to the old mic. That's quite a while ago. Well, yeah, probably the setup will be definitely a little bit different. I'll take some time to adjust, but otherwise videos will keep on coming out. I hope. Seems like a tough turn, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. I have a super superior board state, so he's going to need some real shenanigans to come back. Dynamic lure, okay. It's going to be running in the right direction, I guess. I should have put them all here. It was a little bit of a mistake. Dalatas, huh? Oh, that is not the right direction to run in, my man. Oh, I will get rid of one of the holy immolations. Probably not that big a priority over here. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to put myself in range of a healing mystic, unfortunately. Put down the power. Put down the power. So this is a lot of damage he's taking. I kind of want to put down Regalia, actually. Probably not that big of a deal. And this is already a lot of damage. Put it down to 8. Put them all over here. This prevents the Tombstone from going too crazy. And yeah, he doesn't have the mana to play Shadow Nova, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. Looks like a Dancing Blades or something. Woo! Actually, the worst thing that could have happened. How unfortunate. No, he has to go over here to attack Maw. I don't know why he made that play. That's a little bit unusual. That's a pretty big mistake, I think. Oh, but now he can drop a Shadow Nova, so that's pretty intense. Do I have lethal here? Yeah, I have lethal here, actually. If he got rid of the Maw, then it wouldn't have been lethal, because I wouldn't be able to get the buff off the Silver Guard Knight. So yeah, tough luck, my man. Tough luck, my man. Definitely need to get rid of that Maw. But I don't mind. I don't mind. Alright, that's game 1! Woo! Well, looks like somebody's getting some Silver Guard action. This is a muster for battle right here. Hopefully that's not too cheesy of a joke. Anyway, I suddenly feel like my deck is inadequate to deal with Lilith over here. So I'm going to have to outpressure him. Hopefully I can deal with whatever shenanigans he has. Alright, do I need more cards? Probably not. I'm going to be dropping Silver Guards left and right. Although I do need 2 mana cards. So maybe putting down Blazehound is not too bad of an idea. Although giving him more options is kind of not good as well. But I definitely need to draw onto a 2 mana play to go with the Silver Guard Knight. So I definitely need to accelerate my progression through my deck, and it is not helping that I'm getting a lot of these guys. Although if I can grab 2 mana springs, then I can use 6 mana. But that's a little bit unlikely. Because I have to grab this mana spring for that to work, I believe. So I definitely need to replace one of these guys and hope that I can get something good. Otherwise, I'm going to be dropping the Arcalite Regalia, which is not bad, as long as he doesn't have a Wrathling Swarm here. Actually, there's some consideration against Lilith that you do actually want to grab the mana spring in front of you. Typically you don't want to do that because you're kind of wasting an opportunity to have a 5 mana play on your following turn. However, against Lilith, because of Wrathling Swarm, it's actually very possible for Lilith to grab all 3 of these mana springs on the following turn, which would not be good. But since he's going with this play, I guess it's not really an indication of whether he can do the play or not. Woo! That's a little bit strange. So he pretty much spent his first couple turns to drop a Archon Spellbinder. I don't really like that play at all. It also doesn't affect Roar, so... Alright, let's grab something. That's just such a weird play. I guess I don't need card draw since my hand is very full. However, these guys can go out really quickly, so I'll get rid of a Saberspine Taiga. Ironcliff Guardian, okay. So it seems like it's still going to be a Regalia turn, right? Unless I want to push damage. Yeah, this is really bad because I didn't get a 2 mana play to pair with it. It's actually really unlikely that this happens, but I guess it will happen sometime. So I can't just use a Regalia to get rid of this. It's not too bad because Regalia is kind of imposing. And I do have a follow-up. No, I don't really have a follow-up because he's probably going to grab the Mana Spring next turn as well. I guess I can use a Saber Spine Tiger, but that's not as good as a Regalia. Setting up the Regalia is super valuable. I'm going to come here to contest the Mana Spring. Should I just push damage? It doesn't seem too bad, really. Now I'm going to get rid of this Archon Spellbender. This leaves me with a superior board position, technically, because of a Regalia. If he's going to drop with some more guys, then I can get rid of them. Otherwise, I'm in a little bit of pickle because I didn't have anything to play with what I had, which is really, really bad. Yeah, no 2-mana plays, no 1-mana plays. Yeah, this is not good, and a little bit unlikely since I have so many cards. Yeah, this is definitely not looking good. But I do have the advantage. I do have more to play, I guess, as long as he doesn't have too good of a turn this turn. Pretty set. Blood Moon Priestess would be pretty bad, I guess. Wow, this guy. Yeah, this is all really perfect for him. At least they're Archon Spellbenders, so they're not like super crazy. I'll continue to get rid of one of the Saber Spine Tigers. So if I put down the Ironcliff Guardian, he doesn't actually have a clear way of contesting it, and he just used his Bloodborne spell, so he shouldn't be able to remove it very easily. So dropping the Ironcliff Guardian is not bad. He doesn't exactly have the ability to remove it from board, so I feel pretty good about this. I do have I'm still ahead on board. He just needs one extra damage for it to be a favorable trade off of this Ironcliff Guardian, but I can attack into Archon Spellbender with my General again, so I'm not falling too far behind. And with a double Silverguard Knight, that could be really good. Oh, Repulsor Beast, that's pretty gross. Or Dynamic Lure, that's also fairly gross on its own. I don't have any Magnetizes in this deck, so I'm actually susceptible to these kind of plays. But this Archon Spellbender is not that threatening, actually, because I don't think Lilith typically has burst. Ooh, that's pretty bursty. Alright, now it's not good. Oh gosh. I'll get rid of one of the Spelljammer since that's a card draw engine. Don't really need any engines over here. This is just still terrible. I'm not getting any cards that I can play with what I have. But I should be able to stabilize after a while. Maybe I should just drop 2 Silverguard Knights, yeah. It's a little bit of a weirder play, but I don't think I can just remove the Archon Spellbender because I'll fall way too far behind on board. I have to make this slightly risky play, I guess. But if I can get the Ironcliff Guardian back in action, he's going to have a lot of trouble. It's not like he can remove both of these really easily, so he can run around with his General. So I'm really restricting his motion a lot, and I do have a good follow-up here. I still did not grab any 2-drops, and that's kind of unfortunate because I'll start grabbing 2-drops since I've pretty much played or seen all of these 3 and 5 drops. But the Regalia over here on the follow-up is a real blessing. Should I just attack into the Vorpal Reaver and just deal with all the Wrathlings? Maybe. I'll just attack here and put down a Silverguard Knight then. This forces him to attack into a Silverguard Knight, so I should be pretty set. And if he attacks into me, he's going to lose the Vorpal Reaver, so I'm not in too much of a danger of dying, I would say. Oh, and I have a Divine Bond, so I can close out a game next turn if I am lucky enough. Hopefully he does not have removal for that Silverguard Knight. Am I right? It might have been better to just use a Saber Spine Tiger. Pretty brutal, but yeah, I guess that is what it is. Get rid of this card draw starting off. Star Player 1 is really good. Wow, look at this. Why is he prismatic? I guess he hit the highest level for the general, so you get a prismatic general. I've never seen that before. This is the first time I've seen a prismatic general, and that looks really cool, if I do say so myself. I'll probably get rid of this Saber Spine Tiger. Don't really need any RARs. A little bit of a waste of a Siphon Energy, if I do say so myself. But that means I don't have to be afraid of losing out on value. I will use the Saber Spine Tiger to remove this guy, because I can't use a whole... Yeah, I might as well, because it fits my hand pretty well. Next turn I do plan on dropping an Ironcliff Guardian, so I'll get rid of a Silver Guard Knight, as odd as that looks. Ooh. Now I'd rather have a Silver Guard Knight, but oh well. I'll remove the Bloodseer Alchemist probably next turn, unless I can get a good Holy Militia target. Yeah, this looks pretty good though. Unfortunately, this is definitely Dervish, so he's going to have structures, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't have any dispels. This is a totally not meta deck. Totally does not follow a meta. Woo! Pretty sick. Now I'm afraid of Entropic Decay, because I mean, what else would he run, right? Get rid of a Bloodseer Alchemist. I wouldn't be able to get rid of this even if I tried. Well, I could if I wanted to, but it doesn't seem like the right play. Zenrui. A little too much health on that guy. For that to work, at least. But who knows? Maybe it'll be a good target. No attack here. It seems like something to hold on to. Entropic Decay would be pretty brutal. I think I might just lose the game if he has Entropic Decay. Well, I wouldn't lose the game, but it'll definitely have to climb out with a Holy Immolation, which is not too bad, actually. Good thing he's not Sag, because Sag would have just dealt with this guy easily. Well, not easily. He's going to still need an extra piece of damage. Fingers crossed. Ironcliff Guardian is just, ugh. Every time you play it, you're just like, please don't have an answer to Ironcliff Guardian. Because losing 5 mana is pretty intense. Usually, well, not usually. Usually it gets removed because, you know, people keep the removal of one-liner. Alright, hopefully he doesn't have the extra damage. Oh, that is pretty painful. Hopefully it doesn't land over here. Hopefully it land. Oh my gosh, that's brutal. Oh, it could have been, man. It could have been. Continue to get rid of Silver Guard Knights. Seems like a pretty good plan so far. Actually, that's probably one of the best outcomes, because that means he's kind of lost a board presence. But I like to complain, so. Alright, let's put him down. Oh, snap. I can't attack into the general, because his attack has been buffed. Darn you, Sworn Sister Scion. But yes, I should have used the Bloodseer Alchemist instead. Although I'm probably going to want to replace the Bloodseer Alchemist, so you know, it's not that big of a deal. I won't attack here because it seems kind of pointless. If he drops a Mar Healer, I can deal with it, which is not bad. Even though I will take a health hit, he will be losing out on the board position, which is pretty much as probably as good as I can get. Don't know if the Zenrui is very useful. Let's get rid of the Zenrui. I'm not sure if it's useful at all. Actually, I can actually just use the Roar here, which is not bad, actually. Yeah, why use a Bloodseer Alchemist when I have a Roar? Arclay Regalia, that's not bad. He didn't have an answer to a last Ironcliff Guardian, so... You know, why mess with a good thing? Still have advantage. I have a health advantage. The Mar Healer was not quite enough to swing the game in his favor just yet, but a second one would be still pretty brutal because I don't have an answer to a second one. I guess I should have used the Bloodseer Alchemist in case I didn't have an answer to a second Mar Healer. But he just used one, right? It's impossible that he has a second one. Impossible! That's what I thought. Ugh. Ugh! Well, that's brutal. Alright, this Zenrui is definitely not seeing much play here. Another Ironcliff Guardian. Seems pretty fair to me. He doesn't have Divine Bond, so Mirage Master is not that great. Just hold on here. Hold on, my man. Hold on, my man. You got this. You can get this. Spelljammer, not quite it. I can deal 8 with this. Ironcliff Guardian battle. Mirage Master is kind of a weird cheese, I guess. It's good against control decks. I guess, yeah, the Ironcliff Guardian is not bad. The Mirage blah, blah, blah. Terrible. But he's running out of cards, so I feel pretty good about this. Kind of makes me not want to play Spelljammer, but I do have a kind of tempo advantage. he's out of cards. That's something, I guess. Alright, so I can get rid of that with a roar. Actually, I kind of want to get... I think I'm just going to keep these cards, because I'm going to run out of cards anyway. How should I do this? I like setting up the Regalia, because he only has one card. And then roar here. Man, Azure Lion's so good. This kind of plays around the Dancing Blades a little bit. I'm going to keep the Spelljammer just to give any more cards. As long as that card's not a Mara healer, then I'm good. And even if it is a Mara healer, I'm pretty sure I'm good. Pretty sure I'm good. I feel pretty good about this, at least. Second, Regalia is not bad. I also have another Roar. First Wish. Alright, I'm definitely good. Definitely excellent in fact. Because I can remove this Iron Shroud pretty well. Blast! Well, that's not good. But this sets up for a pretty nice lethal, I'd say. Yeah, I get the first draw advantage from the Spelljammer, and a Divine Bond it is, which is not very useful without high health minions. But I do have a Saberspan Tiger, so that's an immediate 2 damage. So I have lethal, no matter what, unless he has a Mara healer, but he's going to have to put it in a very specific placement. Well, he has to go and come down here and put a Mara healer in front of him, if he wants to continue this shenanigans. Oh, that's interesting. Whoa, that was totally off base. Oh. Oh, misplay. Lethal! He should have played it in front of him. Misplay from me. I lose. Oh man, I should put it next to me. I didn't do that. Well, I guess card for card I do have an advantage. Oh, what a big misplay. Yeah, I was supposed to put the guy next to me. I got a little bit too excited about his misplay that I misplayed, so it turns out we're even, because you misplay, I misplay. Tough, but I do have the advantage here, unless he can drop a third of Maw here. Oh, Duelyst is not bad, if I do say so myself. Actually, if the Tombstone lands on one of these 2 spots, that's not good odds. Yes! I still need this Tombstone to not land over here. But even if it does land there, it's not that big of a deal. If I do say so myself. Could have been, my man. It could have been. But this seems like it sealed up the game. As long as this guy doesn't kill me. He's going to need a 3rd wish, so that means he can take out the lion. I still got it, yeah. Got it! Woo! Yeah! Hey, welcome to end of video. That was Psycho Lyonar, I guess, and that was pretty interesting as a deck. Obviously, you're running the best 2 drops in the game. You're running Azure Lion, you're running Windblade Ada, but the inclusion of Maw and Blood Tier Alchemists, well, the extra Blood Tier Alchemists, are really great in contesting a board in case you don't get those 2 drops. So you can at least come back and be able to put down your proactive plays on the following turns, which is really sweet. In fact, Maw is probably one of the better 2 drops compared to Primus Fist and Healing Mystic, because technically it's as if it was a 2-4 and it dealt 2 damage to another 2-3, which is really insane. I can even do more against bigger minions. So I think that Maws are really, I mean, they do put much more of an impact than Primus Fist or Healing Mystic, which means that it might be a better inclusion than those 2 cards. I'll continue to test out lists with different factions and see how good Maw is compared to these other cards. But anyway, that was it. Be sure to subscribe or watch some more Duelyst videos. I'm not going to put any annotations there. I'm just pointing for no reason. But that's it, and I'll see you!